The India-Pak conflict finally came to an end with the United States administration and President Donald Trump announcing truce had been arrived between India and Pakistan. The conflict seemed to be getting over. Even after the announcement of the truce deal by United States, by putting it out on Twitter and then the press conference by the MEA,
Pakistan called the Director General of Military Operations of India at 15:35 hours earlier this afternoon. It was agreed between them that both sides would stop all firing and military action on land and in the air and sea with
there were some incidents which were reported through the night.
के बीच जो पिछले कुछ दिन से चल रही सैन्य कार्रवाई को रोकने का समझौता आज शाम को हुआ था। पिछले कुछ घंटों से इस समझौते का पाकिस्तान की ओर से घोर उल्लंघन हो रहा है।
A salute to the Indian forces who put up a very great response to the shelling and the drone attacks from across the border. A big salute to all the forces and especially to those who lost their lives in midst of this war. Strategically, Donald Trump may take it as the biggest achievement of this tenure that he could bring peace in 2 days of negotiations with both the countries. But what ahead is the big question. Well, the truce may be temporary because Pakistan, known for its raw character, may not actually follow the doctrines that have been laid. But the question now is, where does India stand? There are several questions that are there in everybody's mind as to what next. As we analyze after Operation Sindoor is over, there's several factors which come to light. First, the big success of our air defense systems certainly shows that India has made the right choices in buying the right kind of weaponry to protect Indian borders. But beyond the forces and their gallantry, there are questions that are raised on the diplomacy level. One of the aspects that also needs to be analyzed after this Operation Sindoor is over is the role of the Indian media. Despite restrictions put in by the government of India, we saw that several channels continued to flout the rules. So much so that an apology had to be put down by the High Commissioner in Iran for comments made by an individual on a television channel. Now, who's responsible for this kind of apologies to be given by the government on behalf of mistakes made by the media? Is this a time where we need to think as to what kind of self restraint or restraint by the government needs to be put on media by bringing in stronger laws or maybe taking some disciplinary action against some of the channels? It was very appalling. The kind of fake news that was spread has actually plummeted the credibility of the Indian media further. With repeated offenses by the Indian media, one is left wondering as to why the government of India is silent on this. Why the government of India does not show the resolve to be able to bring certain restrictions on media so that it does not cause embarrassment to the Indian government and especially the MEA. Well, the next few weeks are going to be very crucial for everyone as we analyze the success of Operation Sindoor and also what could have been done better. But one thing that India achieved, and that is something that everybody is proud of, is the fact that what India has been saying for decades, that Pakistan hosts terror outfits, it was clearly demonstrated when Operation Sindoor was started with attacks on 9 terror bases. And that's what the world needs to take note of and ensure that at least in future, if the other countries put in their pressure and this can be stopped by Pakistan, India will have to take it forward from here strategically to ensure that cross-border terrorism finally comes to an end And that will be the real success of Operation Sindoor. Vijay Grover, Bangalore.